In memory of this video being about Pink Floyd, I'm actually wearing my Division Bell earrings, so yeah, I just thought I'd mention that for some reason, and I'm wearing a Pink Floyd shirt today. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be doing another collection video, this time as Pink Floyd. I have quite a big Pink Floyd collection, so I thought I'd just kind of compress it into one video for your entertainment purposes. I'm missing a couple of things here and there, but I pretty much covered the main discography of the band. Enough of me yapping, let's get on with it. So, first record I have of Pink Floyd is Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I realise now that that is the name of the record. I knew that before, but in my vinyl collection video I just completely forgot the name of the album, and dumb old me didn't think to check the back because it has the name on the back. So this is Piper at the Gates of Dawn. This is Relics, which I think has some singles and stuff on it, but I might be wrong. But I got this for my dad, I believe, on Father's Day a couple of years ago. Now this is very interesting. So this is Saucer Full of Secrets, but this is a first pressing, an original first pressing, in very, very pristine condition, very good condition. I don't remember how much we got it for, but it wasn't cheap. But I mean, just look at it. It looks pretty much new. I may or may not be wrong, but this could be a bootleg of some sorts, but this is Pink Floyd Live in Rome 1968. It's only got a couple of numbers on it, as you can see, but this is a great bootleg actually. It's about a very good sound. Next up is the soundtrack from the film, More. I haven't actually listened to this yet, but I'm looking forward to because I've heard that it's good. Next is Armagama, which is Gatefold. And I really like this actually. I know a lot of people don't really like this one, but I think that it's good. I really like this. It's one of the first Pink Floyd albums I was introduced to, so of course I'm gonna have some sort of sentiment attached to it. Next we're getting into my favourite Pink Floyd era, which is like early 70s Pink Floyd. So first up we have Atom Heart Mother, which I just got for my boyfriend on CD. You might see it in the background there, but I got it for him as a Valentine's Day gift. So this is the vinyl version, and this is also a gatefold with just a field of cows. This is a great record. I think I mentioned it in my prog rock epics that the first side of Atom Heart Mother is one of my favourite epics of all time. Next up is Metal, which is also on gatefold. This is quite textured actually. It feels different to a regular album. But this is one of the first Pink Floyd albums I was introduced to because of Echoes, and it's kind of stuck with me since because that song reminds me of when I was first introduced to classic rock through my dad, and so it has a lot of kind of memory attached to it. So I love it for the music, and it also has a special place in my heart as one of my favourite Pink Floyd records. Next up, this is Obscured by Clouds, one that I haven't listened to actually in a long time, but this is a great record. Next up is the very much well-known Dark Side of the Moon. I have actually got the poster from the album up there in the back, but I cover it every time I sit here so you can't actually see it, but it's right there. I believe it's double-sided as well. I always put up posters that come with albums because I don't know, I think that's where I get the majority of my posters from. I mean, the Beatles ones, that ELP one, or these Rush ones, and that King Crimson one, all coming from albums, box sets, whatever. I had a Black Sabbath one there. If you remember, any of you remember my earlier videos, I had a Black Sabbath poster there, which I've taken down since and put back into its allocated box. Next up we have Wish You Were Here, another great record, and I believe this actually comes with some extras. It does. Comes with a postcard. You could send it out if you really wanted to. Next up is another personal favourite of mine. This is Animals, gatefold. I love this album. I think it's probably one of my favourite Pink Floyd records because I love every single track on this album. I remember it took me a while to get into Dogs, but I grew to love that one. But I think my favourites on this are Sheep and Pigs, in parentheses. 3 different ones, although I love the opening and closing tracks too. I remember the first time I heard this, I borrowed it from a friend, and it was one of the Pink Floyd albums I hadn't heard yet. So when I borrowed it, I got home and I played it, and I fell in love with it instantly because I was just reading the lyrics alongside listening to the music, which really does affect the way I listen to things because I connect with it more if I'm completely distraction free in my room with the album and the lyric sheet, and I'm just listening to it, and that just had an effect on it, you know? Probably had an effect on why I love it so much. And it also kind of made me think, well, this is quite proggy actually. Next up, this is The Wall. Obviously everyone's familiar with this one. Great artwork on the inside. I think this is when Pink Floyd started to go a bit more mainstream. After Dark Side of the Moon, of course, but this one really, I think, was when they became more mainstream. Next is, this is a new release from the band, I believe, but this is Delicate Sound of Thunder live album. And this has got some great stuff on it. There we go. And I think my favourite side on this is probably side B on the second disc. So it's side D, essentially. It's got Time, On the Run, Great Gig in the Sky, Wish You Were Here, and Welcome to the Machine. And Welcome to the Machine is one of my favourite Pink Floyd songs. So I really liked the live version on this album. If you have not picked that up yet, I really strongly urge you to. Another thing that I got from my boyfriend, I think I got it for Christmas, I got him the CD version of it. Next is The Division Bell. This is slowly becoming one of my favourite Pink Floyd records. Not sure why. I guess High Hopes really is one of my favourite tracks of the band and probably one of my favourite songs of all time at this point. So that's probably why, but I remember the first time I heard this, I was sitting in my room. I did the same thing as when I was listening to Animals. I sat and just looked at the lyrics and I was just completely immersed. Next is quite a chunky box set we got here. This is Pulse, the big old live album that they did. And the live version, talking of High Hopes on this album is absolutely incredible. I love it so much and I love this record. In general, such a great set list as well, and I strongly urge you to listen to it if you haven't. This is in the 90s, obviously, because it's got tracks from The Division Bell on it. So yeah, it's got a lot of discs in there and plenty of Pink Floyd for you to listen to. And lastly of the Pink Floyd discography, I have The Endless River. I got this for my birthday from my boyfriend, and I think you can probably guess that he's a big Pink Floyd fan. But this has got some great stuff on it as well. I believe this one came with like a little booklet inside it as well. So this one is quite chunky. But I urge you to listen to this if you haven't yet. It's predominantly instrumental. And hearing Pink Floyd doing instrumentals is always great. I mean, I love all their instrumental bits in things like Echoes, and obviously all the stuff on Animals as well that's just instrumental. And as a little bonus, I thought I'd add this one in, but this is the Record Store Day release of The Wall, but this is just a Roger Waters album. This is on coloured vinyl, I do believe. Well, not coloured, I think it's on clear vinyl. And it is. But I haven't actually had a chance to listen to this yet. This is in the 90s, but I just kind of put it with the Pink Floyd records because it's a cover of a Pink Floyd record by a member of, well, ex-member of Pink Floyd. So that is the end of my video today. I'm going to quickly show you where I store all my Pink Floyd albums. So I have this big old box here, and this is where I keep all my Pink Floyd albums because there's quite a lot of them that they don't fit on my shelf. So I've got that there, and then there's a Jethro Tull ones here, but that's not Pink Floyd related. And yeah, that's where they are, and where they will probably remain to be. But I actually have quite an exciting announcement to make, but I will make that tomorrow in my video that I make tomorrow. So you can look forward to that. It's a celebration of 10,000 subscribers. If you aren't aware, I hit 10,000 yesterday afternoon, and it was just absolutely great. I mean, I did a stream and everything, and it was great fun. But I have got an extra gift to give back to you guys, which will be announced tomorrow in my video tomorrow, which is my ELP ranking video. So I'm actually going to be starting a ranked album series. It's going to start with Emerson, Lake and Palmer because I've listened to all the Emerson, Lake and Palmer albums, so I can actually start with that one first and make my way through other bands, you know, like Pink Floyd or Rush or King Crimson and all that. You can look forward to that. And yeah, that concludes the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.